And good evening, race fans, and welcome to Arizona Speedway. This is the moment we have all been waiting for since the green flag flew at Daytona. Tonight we are going to know which 12 drivers are going to be in the chase for the championship here in Season 5 for the Oreo Truck Series. Then we'll be finding out the Mobile Cup Series Chase field as well as the Snickers Cup Series Chase field. It all goes down this weekend here at Arizona. You can just feel it here, folks. The anticipation, the excitement, the tension, the nervousness. You can cut it with a knife. It is just so felt here, not only by the drivers, not only by the crews, not only by the fans, but just the whole atmosphere as a whole. It is unbelievable here. You got a sense of exhilaration when you look down there and you can just see the want of these drivers, knowing this is their last chance of trying to make the Season 5 Oreo Truck Series Championship. Tonight, a few drivers have already clinched themselves spots in the chase. Two of them, in fact, Danica Shirley and Sean Galligan. There is no mathematical way for them to fall outside of the top 10, so we know for a fact that they, tonight, are going to clinch themselves spots with the green flag coming out in the chase for the championship. Congratulations to those two on already securing themselves spots in this season's chase. A few other drivers tonight who could possibly lock themselves up spots if they can leave with at least a top 20 are Dylan Young, 3rd in points, Luke Walker, 4th in points, and rookie Alex Tanker, who is 5th in points. Matthew Rodriguez, he's got 2 wins, and he's 6th in points, so he needs to make sure that he leaves with no worse than an 18th place finish. That way, if he does fall out of the top 10, he can still stay just ahead of Christopher Martin, who is 14th in points, a 2-time winner, as well as Kyle Sosnowski, who is 19th in points, also a 2-time winner. Now, the thing that Kyle Sosnowski's got to hope for, this is going towards the wild card spot now, is being 19th in points. He's got to hope that Matthew Rodriguez finishes well tonight and does not fall outside of the top 10. If Matthew Rodriguez does fall outside of the top 10, then Kyle Sosnowski has to hope he gets a good enough finish to finish ahead of Christopher Martin. Because if Matthew Rodriguez falls out of the top 10, he'll be in position for wild card spot number 1, and then Christopher Martin, if Kyle Sosnowski cannot pass him in points tonight, he would get the second wildcard spot, and Kyle Sosnowski, regardless of his 2 wins, would not be able to get wildcard spot number 2. A couple of other drivers who are inside the top 10 that want to be able to make the chase tonight, that need good runs, are 7th in points, Stephen Pollard the 3rd, Nick Eggleston in 8th, Chris Dollerton 9th, and Adam Chambers is in that critical 10th place, trying to go for a historical feat and make his 5th straight Oreo Truck Series Championship bid. Drivers on the outside looking in, one of them includes the pole sitter for tonight's race, Eric Burton. He's a former winner this season, and he is 11th in points, only 9 points out of that 10th position. Dylan Poteet, he is 12th in points. He's also a former winner this season. He comes in 10 points back from that 10th position. Sean Henley comes in 20 points back from that 10th position in 14th in the standings. And Christopher Martin, who could very well get a wild card spot tonight, he's 21 points back. He obviously would like to also make the chase via top 10 in points, just for a little added insurance. So, it's all going to come down to this, folks. We'll be keeping an eye on the points. We'll try and update you on who's got the chance to make it, who has already been eliminated from the chance to make it as the course of this race goes on. We'll give you the first 2 rows, as we always do. Eric Burton, as we mentioned, the pole sitter, 11th in points, 9 points back from that 10th position. He's got an opportunity tonight with a good run to be able to make the chase. You can bet he's going to want to stay out front all night long. Alongside him, Bob Jones, 29th in points. His only opportunity is to really try and see if he can catch up to Kyle Sosnowski in points and get a second win tonight. Right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. He'd have to pick up 10 spots in the standings tonight. I don't think that's possible. So I think Bob Jones mathematically is eliminated from making the chase. But he'd love to, of course, win tonight and continue on the season as a 2-time winner if he could. Luke Walker going to line up in the third position, fourth in points. Luke Walker tonight, as mentioned, he's just got to basically have a top 20 finish, and he's going to make the chase. And alongside of him, Rod Houston, a two-time winner, or not a two-time winner, I was going to say, he's a former winner, and he'd love to become a two-time winner as he won at Bristol. He's 26th in points. I think he's basically in the same boat as his fellow Toyota Bob Jones. I don't think mathematically Rod Houston can make the chase for the championship. So, we're getting ready to go under the green flag. We already know two drivers that will be in the chase. Sean Galligan, three-time winner of the season, and the gal, who actually comes in as the current points leader by 2 points over Sean Galligan, Danica Shirley. I'm sure those two are going to keep battling for the points lead, even though Sean Galligan is going to probably be the points leader after the chase field's compiled, due to the fact that he has 3 wins. That's 30 bonus points that'll go to him. But Danica Shirley, obviously, is going to come up here and try to pick up her second win of the season. We'll see if she can do that. It looks like she's starting from the dead last row in 41st position. Here's your starting grid for tonight's Lays 200. Here we go, folks. It is time. No fan on the front straightaway is sitting down. Every seat is empty. Everyone's on their feet. We're ready to go racing. We're ready to find out at the end of 27 laps what 12 drivers are going to be representing their teams in the chase for the championship. Here we go. We're ready to go green. The Lays 200 at Arizona is green. The final race of the regular season. Going to be interesting here tonight to see what goes on. How soon will it be that a wreck occurs? Because tonight, you can bet they are going to be racing at 120%. They usually give 110, but you're going to see them give so much more tonight. As Luke Walker shoves the back of Eric Burton, and there's the caution already. I told you we were probably going to have something like that. Oh, Nicole Williams nearly got turned by Dom Capps. She hangs onto it, though. That's out of turn 4. I'm going to be expecting this a lot tonight. I'm expecting a wreck fest. You're going to see a lot of turning, a lot of wrecking, and Eric Burton's going to lead us under our first yellow of the night as Chris Dollerton nearly got up into Colin Welty there at the line. And Sean Galligan is involved. 3-time winner Sean Galligan is involved, but he had such a good season coming into tonight's race. He's insured regardless of where he finished tonight. It's just as long as he took the green flag. Sean Galligan, he's going to be in the chase. Doesn't really look like a chase contender right there, all crunched up with smoke pouring out of the back, but he will be in the chase. And it looks like Danica Shirley was also involved. Both those drivers who have insured themselves spots in the chase involved. Emilio Navarrete there, Sky Commons, and there is Matthew Rodriguez. Remember, we told you he cannot fall outside of the top 10, or else Kyle Sosnowski's chance at a wildcard spot could be in jeopardy. We're going to have to see if Matthew Rodriguez is going to be able to continue there in the 14. Danica Shirley looks like she's going to be able to continue. Margaret Mason's got some damage there in the 50. James McLeod also damaged. Seth Cole, Hayden Klein, Mason Wood, Richard Johnson, they've all got some damage in some shape or form. And it looks like everybody else up here is good to go. So we're going to take a look at a replay of what happened. The top 2 in points, who are guaranteed spots in the chase for the championship, involved in this wreck. Take a look and see what just went down. Well, Sean Galligan is already insured a spot in the chase for the championship. Henley and Stephen Pollard III, they're not. And you can see they made some contact with Barney Ward, and I guess it was just on from there. Whoa, Galligan going to flip right over onto his roof. Matthew Rodriguez is going to flip as well. Trent Dunham's going to piece. Oh, look at the air the 14 car got. My word. He got some major air there in that 14 car. Matthew Rodriguez, no wonder he was already on pit road. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue after this. Look at this. See who's going to make the contact with. There's Richard Johnson ball. He hits Sean Galligan, and then Danica Shirley was the one that hit him. He begins flipping over, and then watch right here. I think he's going to actually flip over the 25. Right there. Just kind of like springboarded off the hood of the Mike's Hard Lemonade Toyota. And Matthew Rodriguez got a lot of air there on the back straightaway. Scary wreck for Matt Rod. And that is a tough break for quite a few of these drivers. Emilio Navarrete 15th in points. He mathematically had a shot to get in the top 10. Sean Henley there in the 43. He came in 13th in points. Those two may have, just right there, being involved in this incident, may have taken themselves out of Oreo Truck Series Chase contention. Then, of course, we got Sean Galligan, Danica Shirley, and Matthew Rodriguez, who came in 1st, 2nd, and 6th in points. We know that Danica Shirley, Sean Galligan, they're going to be in the chase, but Matthew Rodriguez, a big question mark right now, and you can bet there's got to be a big lump in the throat of Kyle Sosnowski if indeed Matthew Rodriguez does fall outside of the top 10 here tonight. Kyle Sosnowski's bid for a wild card spot may be in vain. Let's go back to green. Ready to go back to green flag racing. We got the 1 to go signal. We'll go back to green on lap 6 of 27. That should give us a total of 22 laps to go here tonight. Eric Burton still out in front. Great strategy for him as he's trying to make the chase there in that 33. Eric Burton currently 11th in points, and this is the perfect place to be running if you are just 9 points back from that 10th position in the standings. Rod Houston 2nd. Luke Walker looking like he may make the chase if he can keep his car right there tonight. He's 3rd. 4th is Dom Capps. Carter Keselowski is in 5th. Derek Reed is 6th. Nicole Williams 7th. How about Chris Dollerton? 9th in points. He's up here inside the top 10 in 8th. 9th place is going to be Bob Jones, and Colin Welty is going to complete the top 10. Maggie Vadarovu, who right now is just so mired down in points, even though she is a 2-time winner, that her odds of going into the chase are not good unless she can pick up her 3rd win of the season here tonight. She's 11th. Jake Rogers 12th. There's Sosnowski. He's trying to get up there if he can. He's got to bypass Christopher Martin in points if he's going to have a chance for the championship. If Matthew Rodriguez falls out of the top 10, he's 13th. Felix Harris 14th. And there's the guy who's trying to set a historical mark and make his 5th straight Oreo Truck Series Chase for the championship. Adam Chambers there in the 51. He comes in that very critical 10th position he needs to get himself up here to the front of the field to ensure himself a spot inside the top 10 here this season. One of those drivers there that's trying to work his way into the chase, Dylan Poteet in the 31. Poteet is currently 12th in points. He is actually 10 points behind Adam Chambers, who is 10th in points, so pretty interesting. Those two find each other, battling each other here. And there's Nick Eggleston trying to make the chase, and oh, there's someone spinning up the racetrack. Look out, Derek Reed. Nicole Williams is involved. Tony Blazer. Nicole Williams spins around. Oh, boy. There's Margaret Mason was in it, I think. Dylan Young may have gotten a piece of it. Oh, and Kyle Sosnowski is in it. Oh, man. Sosnowski, Carter Keselowski. Sosnowski, a 2-time winner this season, was up inside the top 15, and he's involved in this incident. Chris Dollerton is in it as well, 9th in points. And wait a minute, Adam Chambers 10th in points. Oh my goodness. 9th and 10th in points involved in this, both cars smoking. This could open up the door of opportunity for drivers like Eric Burton and Dylan Poteet and Christopher Martin to work their way into the top 10 here tonight. Colin Welty is also damaged. Looks like Ryan Acosta's also got some damage on his car. Oh, well, yeah, I'd say he has some damage. Car is destroyed. Caution waves for the 2nd time tonight. And we told you we were going to have a lot of stuff going on here tonight. We didn't lie. Caution's out, and already this chase field may be beginning to take shape, or it may be beginning to crumble. We'll find out one way or another, so we're going to take a look at a replay. Well, this was, believe it or not, a battle for the lead, and 2 rookies are going to get together. Carter Keselowski had led that lap. He's going to get turned around by Dom Capps. That's uncalled for, in my opinion. And gets sent right straight up into Derek Reed. Dollerton. Eric Burton is involved. He's up and on his side. The guy who came in 11th in points. There's Chambers, Sosnowski, Welty. Bob Jones in the 11. And just look at the carnage up here. There they all are. There's Burton upside down. So I said it was 9th and 10th in points. Count in 11th in points. Eric Burton, who was trying to make the chase via top 10 in points. And there's black smoke pouring out. His night is over. There's Chambers. There's Dollarton. And now, that's a huge, huge question mark for these guys on whether or not they're going to make the chase or whether or not drivers are going to be able to pass them for points into the top 10. I don't know, because there's Burton upside down. I'll try to further explain better what I'm talking about here. I may not be presenting it perfectly with what I'm saying. I'll try and explain it as we get ready to go back to the restart. I'll try and explain it a little bit more fully. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 12 of 27. We'll give you quickly the top 10. Luke Walker's the leader, Rod Houston second, Maggie Vidarvu third, Felix Harris fourth, Nick Eggleston fifth. Jake Rogers is in 6th, Alex Tanker is in 7th, Charles Jackson 8th. His teammate Anthony McCurry, last week's winner at Homestead, he's in 9th. And Dom Capps completes the top 10. Now, the reason I really went quickly there is I want to take this opportunity to be able to explain to you what I'm talking about that now we don't know who's going to have an opportunity to make the top 10. The drivers that came in mathematically eligible to make this chase top 10, provided drivers who came in from like 6th on down to 10th had trouble, were Eric Burton, Dylan Poteet, Sean Henley, Christopher Martin, and Emilio Navarrete. 3 of those drivers, Burton, Henley, and Navarrete, have all encountered problems here tonight. The only drivers that do have an opportunity still are Dylan Poteet and Christopher Martin. However, the drivers that are 9th, 10th, and 11th in points, Chris Dollarton, Adam Chambers, and Eric Burton, they've all encountered problems here tonight, and I believe all 3 of them are back in the garage area. Those 3 came in with a 15-point gap. Alright. Dylan Poteet, he came in, I believe it was a total of 35 points back from Chris Dollarton. Tonight, 35 points is quite a bit to have to make up. So, right now, it's looking like if Dylan Poteet gets a good finish, he may knock one driver out of the top 10 in points, but Chris Dollarton, regardless of his bad finish tonight, his DNF, maybe, just maybe, could hang on to a spot inside the top 10. It basically just depends on whether he retired in a better position than Adam Chambers or if Chambers retired in a better position than Dollarton. Let's take a look here at the DNFs. Yeah, Dollarton finished 1 position of Adam Chambers here in the point standings, and he came in a total of 6 points ahead of Chambers in the points. So right now, Chris Dollarton, regardless of his DNF, still has an opportunity to make the chase here this season. That would actually be the second straight season the 83 car has actually been in the Oreo Truck Series Chase for the championship. So right now, depending on where Dylan Poteet is, as Rod Houston is the leader, let's see where Poteet is. He's in 11th place right now. In order to be ahead of Adam Chambers, he has to be at least 11 positions ahead, which he is. Chambers may have tonight taken himself out of his 5th straight Oreo Truck Series championship. He's got to hope that Dylan Poteet encounters problems here tonight within the next half of this race. But Dom Capps getting awfully close to turning people. He turned Carter Keselowski, who was in the lead. That is still under scrutiny from the NNSCRA officials. Be interesting to hear what Dom Capps' explanation was for that. Is Charles Jackson going to bypass Luke Walker there? Luke Walker, he's just basically trying to hang around right now. Remember, he's one of those drivers who has to just basically finish inside the top 20 tonight, and he's going to have a good opportunity making the chase. As a matter of fact, a lot of these drivers now, like Luke Walker, like the guy he's battling, Alex Tanker, like Dylan Young, all they got to do now is just basically survive tonight because of the trouble that's been had by drivers who come in 8th or make that 9th through 11th in the point standings. I don't think they can now mathematically fall out of the top 10. It's another driver right there who, with this good run right now, may be definitely ensuring himself a spot in the chase. Nick Eggleston. Only time he's been to victory lane was the season opener at Daytona. Oh man, he's all over the back bumper of the 15. He's got a much faster truck. Rod Houston there, going to keep the lead. And of course, Rod Houston trying to pick up his second win of the season, even though he is basically out of contention, I do believe, for a wild card position. And we're still green flag racing here, which is rather surprising. There's Tanker. Looks like he could be one of 3 rookies right now that are going to be in the chase for the championship. Himself, Danica Shirley, as well as possibly Stephen Pollard III, who actually is up here. There he is, up in the 14th position. Even though he was involved in an incident in that Aflac Ford, he is still battling up here. Here he comes 3 wide. He's looking for a spot inside the top 10 is Stephen Pollard III. Having a great run tonight and nice recovery for that rookie as he's side by side with Luke Walker right there. Looking here, Anthony McCrory. Now he won last week at Homestead, and he is 23rd in the points. Sosnowski is 19th in the points. Let's see what the gap is between those two. It's only 8 points. So Anthony McCurry, if he could pick up a win tonight, if he could pick up his second win of the season, Anthony McCurry would, I believe, ensure himself a wild card spot. He's currently in 10th. Let's see if he can get up there in time, maybe pick up his second straight win, go back-to-back at Homestead in Arizona, and make his bid for an Oreo Truck Series Championship. If I'm not mistaken, I think he actually made the chase last season too, driving the 98. I also recall him being in the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship. I believe it was in Season 3. It might have been Season 3. It was either Season 3 or Season 4. He drove the number 38, as I recall. As Dylan Poteet is all over the back bumper of Nick Eggleston. Poteet right now, I do believe, at this point, would knock Adam Chambers out of the top 10 in points, and he would put himself in the chase for the championship with the run he is currently having. As Nick Eggleston was just bypassed for 2 positions, first and second. Poteet now to the lead. Rod Houston going to move to second. Eggleston starting to slip back. And there's Felix Harris in the 78. Felix Harris, he was actually a driver who I was really looking at the beginning of the season, who had an opportunity, it looked like, to be a really, really good chase contender. Just had a whole streak of bad luck during the second half of the regular season, and comes in tonight ineligible for making the chase for the championship, but still having a great run tonight in that 78 car. There's Tanker, starting to work his way back up here. Let's find out where Luke Walker slipped back to. There he is. He's back in the 12th position, still running inside the top 15, and there is Stephen Pollard III. So right now, the way things are looking, if I'm working my calculator correctly, it looks like Rod Houston got by Dylan Poteet for the lead with 5 laps to go. Looks like the drivers that are definitely insured spots in the chase for the championship right now are Danica Shirley, Sean Galligan, Dylan Young, Luke Walker, Alex Tanker, Stephen Pollard III, Matthew Rodriguez, there's still a question mark there. Nick Eggleston, I think he's also made it with the run he's having tonight. And then the big question marks are over Chris Dollerton and Adam Chambers. That's based on the fact that Dylan Poteet is currently running in second place. Now how about Christopher Martin? Let's try and find out where he is. I don't think he's retired. Oh, I guess he has. Christopher Martin, another 2-time winner. He's retired from this race. So now that puts a big question mark there. Whoa! Slower car of Tony Blazer going to hold up Rod Houston. And with 3 laps to go, Dylan Poteet, that's going to help him maybe get away from Rod Houston, at least for now. Houston, you can bet, though, with that strong truck he's got tonight, he's going to try and run him down again. It's like Nick Eggleston, Alex Tanker, they're going to make the pass on now the lap machine of Tony Blazer. Dylan Poteet going to continue to lead. 2 laps to go. Dylan Poteet is a former winner this season, if I recall. He won back at Kansas. And Dylan Poteet here tonight trying to pick up his second win of the season. Now, there's no doubt about it. If Dylan Poteet ends up winning here tonight, picks up his second win of the season, he's definitely going to make the Oreo Truck Series Chase for the championship. But the question is, though, who is he going to be replacing inside the top 10? Is it going to be Chris Dollerton in the 83 or Adam Chambers in the 51? Both those drivers have retired. They're actually retired one behind the other. And Dylan Poteet has received the white flag. We got half a lap, and Rod Houston is right there. Can Houston make the move? He's got to make the move. He's got to dive it down here now. He looks low. Dylan Pote trying to block him. Houston nearly turns the 31, but Dylan Pote's going to make the chase. And how about another win, number 31? Dylan Pote wins the Lays 200 at Arizona. And Dylan Pote is going to be in the Oreo Truck Series Chase for the championship. Dylan Pote will be in the chase. I'm pretty sure Nick Eggleston will be in the chase with his third place run. Tanker's going to definitely be in the chase with fourth place. Luke Walker's going to get 8th. He'll be in the chase. Stephen Pollard the third. 13th place. I'm pretty sure that's good enough to get him into the chase. There's Dylan Young. He'll get 17th tonight. He's definitely going to be in the chase for the championship. Danica Shirley, she's already insured a spot. She finishes 22nd tonight. And there is your race winner, Dylan Pote. His second win of the season comes here tonight at Arizona. And that's another 10 bonus points that's going to go towards the 31 when the chase field is compiled as well. Keep that in mind. So Dylan Pote wins here tonight. We'll give you your top 10 as we always do. Rod Houston almost was able to close the deal. He almost got by Dylan Pote there in turns 3 and 4. He'll have to settle for second though. Nick Eggleston, Alex Tanker, they'll get 3rd and 4th. Anthony McCurry, a nice follow-up finish after his win last week. He'll get 5th, but not good enough for a bid inside the chase, unfortunately. Felix Harris going to get 6th. Jake Rogers, 7th. Luke Walker, he's in 8th. Charles Jackson, 9th. And Austin LaPlante, another good run for that 16 team in 10th place. Alright guys, we are going to step aside for a moment. We're going to show you your official full results, and then we're going to come right back and we're going to go through with you who has made the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship, who's going to be battling for the championship for 10 laps this season. We will be right back. Alright, we'll give you a look here first at your rookie points heading into next week, which is going to be at Coca-Cola, our first race of the chase. As you can see, Danica Shirley, she's still going to hang on with the points lead. Tanker second, Pollard the third, Christopher Martin, and Felix Harris. That's going to be the top 5. Nice runner-up position moves Rod Houston up to 6th. Hayden Klein 7th. Dom Capps, he'll be 8th. 9th, Nicole Williams, and 10th is Sky Commons. As you take a look here at the remaining 2 drivers in the rookie points. Of course, 2 drivers came in mid-season. Alright, folks, now we're going to show you how it's going to look as far as the championship. We're going to show you first what the original points would look like if this race was actually not the race heading into the chase for the championship. Here's a look at it. Danica Shirley, Sean Galligan, Alex Tanker, Dylan Young, Luke Walker, Nick Eggleston, Stephen Pollard III, Dylan Pote, Matthew Rodriguez, Chris Dollarton. Those are your top 10 drivers who are going to make the chase via top 10 in the points. Adam Chambers' bid for his 5th straight chase for the championship is not going to come to pass. That's a tough break for him. Eric Burton just missing out by 8 points. John Cittadino moved up to 13th in points, but it wasn't enough to get him up anywhere close enough to the 10th position. And now that we know the top 10 in points, we got to look now at our drivers that are in the wild card positions. First driver in the wild card spot, 15th in points with 2 wins, is Christopher Martin. So that rookie is going to make his first Oreo Truck Series Chase for the championship. And based on the fact that Matthew Rodriguez was able to remain inside the top 10 in points, as we move further down here, you can see Kyle Sosnowski, 22nd in points. He is the second 2-time winner, and Sosnowski is going to make the chase by wildcard spot number 2. So congratulations to Kyle Sosnowski on making the chase just barely. And he's got quite a bit of gratitude there to Matthew Rodriguez for not falling outside the top 10 in points, or else Sosnowski would not be representing his Dodge in the chase for the championship. So, this is the way that the rest of the points look. And heading into next week, this is what we're going to be keeping an eye on. Here is your official chase standing. Sean Galligan with 3 wins. He has a 10-point advantage over 2-time winners Dylan Pote, Matthew Rodriguez, Christopher Martin, and Kyle Sosnowski. Then it's Danica Shirley, Nick Eggleston, Stephen Pollard III, Chris Dollarton, all winners this season. And then drivers who have yet to pick up a win this season are 30 points back in Alex Tanker, Dylan Young, and Luke Walker. That's it, folks. Those are the 12 drivers that are going to battle it out for the championship, four of them being rookies. So we're going to have to see how those guys do against the competition, as we got good veterans here, including former champion in Matthew Rodriguez. Alright folks, hope that you enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We'll see you guys next time. Here comes the rest of the credits, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.